happening? Are we live? I think it's happening. What's the haps, all you dirty dogs and alley cats? It is time for another Thrifting vlog live stream. We'll do it live. I was just shouting that yesterday, as a matter of fact. Holy cow. Thank you, Billy. Thanks for pointing it out so I have a reason to talk about it. This is from the Bearded Mermaid, a local shop here in St. Paul, Minnesota, where I live. Shout out to the Bearded Mermaid. Retro clothes, lots of fun stuff. So, Roddy, welcome. Billy, welcome. Chad, welcome. Everybody's filing in. Holy cow. It is probably the most exciting live stream of the month. It's the Thrifting live stream. Everybody gets excited for this. As you know, throughout the weeks, I hit Derek, welcome. I hit up all the thrift shops as often as I can. You know, I find a couple things here, a couple things there, splice it all together into a little vlog. We'll watch it, and then I'll come back live, and we'll show off some of the things in greater detail and show off a lot of stuff that I didn't film. There's a reason I don't film. Sometimes I will get to a place, and especially if it's busy, I'm weird about filming. If there's pushy people, I just kind of want to get in, get my stuff, and get out. And sometimes, yeah, it just kind of is what it is. So, but I have a ton, and a lot of people love these thrifting videos for the VHS tapes. I want to say the actual vlog part is kind of light in the VHS department. Dagger Deep, welcome. But I have so many frickin' things that I found that I just didn't get footage of. So after the vlog part, when we're live, I'm going to go through all of these stacks. I have crazy. That's just one stack, guys. That's one stack. It's ridiculous. Movie John, welcome. Matt, welcome. Okay. So I think let's just get into it. Let's watch we'll watch the vlog, and then we'll come right back as although, yeah. Well, let's just do it. Usually I like to wait just a little bit longer, let people filter in, but what the heck. We're loaded for bear as it is. The chat is nice and plump and full. Hat's got mad stacks. That's right. I am stacked today. Okay. Let's jump in, right? This is how I do it. Okay. First up, we got a sweet little cassette tape Walkman. But that's the thing I like about it. It's got the built-in speaker. So it's not just for headphones. I found a couple of these. I bought one. Oh, I saw these Where the Wild Things Are figures. I of course, as most kids probably do, love Where the Wild Things Are. If they had had a couple more, or more of the set, I might have bought them, but it was just those two. And then I found... I don't know if anybody remembers this. I loved this thing when I was a kid. The Etch-a-Sketch Animator. It was basically a digital Etch-a-Sketch, but it allowed you to draw frames of animation. And I loved it. It came with the instruction book, had a bunch of, animation cycles you could copy. And finding it in the box like this was just incredibly cool. And looking through the CDs, I spot THQ. That ain't no CD. That is a boxed, complete Game Boy Advance game. Not necessarily the coolest Game Boy Advance game, but still neat to see. And of course, the gift for your... By the way, from Woolworth, which I don't even think exists anymore, the gift for your, your lottery-addicted aunt, the lottery organizer, it had like little things to scratch out, little chips you can use to scratch off the scratch-off lottery tickets. I just thought it was funny. And this is neat, because I do not remember this from back in the day. Light Bright, Tailspin, sheets. I didn't remember like Light Bright still being as big a thing, you know, in that kind of early mid-90s. And look at this. I was looking through the PC games, and I've been finding some cool big box games. Remind me when we get to the live portion of tonight's episode to actually open this box up and show you some of the stuff inside, because it was complete, and there's some cool stuff. And looks like a neat game. I've never heard of it. And looking through more of the PC software, nothing crazy exciting, but Lemmings, Windows 95, you know, some interesting little tidbits. What do we got? Rage of the Mages, which I have no idea what that is, but it just looked kind of cool. And SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition. And blue tickets were half off that day, so I thought that was cool. And here's an old Warcraft CD with the actual CD keys, so somebody can pause that and you can steal those keys for all I care. I'm sure they are long since. And here is a very old sort of Tiger handheld style game. It's not super exciting, but the date on it surprised me. It's much older than I expected it to be. And I guess Goodwill is selling some pretty extreme sex toys now. Oh, no, wait. This is just a kid's toy. Never mind. Move along. What else did we have? Oh yeah, some other big box PC games. Empire 2, which I don't know what this game is, but just the pictures on the back make it look like the kind of game that I would be into. I love those kind of Sims and, you know, like micromanagement kind of games. Little damaged, but it's still factory sealed. Surprising. And here is the VTech Video Painter. I think the copyright on the back says 1991, if I remember right. Yeah. Yep. This is the kind of thing as a kid I always thought was incredibly cool. It was far out of my family's price range, but I always thought this kind of thing was, you know, I loved sort of art and tech kind of combining. And here's a big box PlayStation game, not an exciting game, but it's just neat to see out in the wild. You don't really see those. And we did find some VHS tapes here, nothing super exciting. Legends in Love. I guess it's just ladies in the 80s and their, you know, all of their romantic exploits. We got a rental copy of Congo from Duluth, Minnesota. This one traveled a long way to get to my Goodwill. What's this? True Lies. Oh, yes. I can't say one of my faves, but it's up there. And then another Schwarzenegger movie. Not nearly as high on the list, End of Days, but, I mean, come on. It's Arnold. And then I found this, the Blaine High School Marching Bangles. This is the kind of tape that I look for. 1999. By the way, if you pause it, it says the 1999 season, 17 minutes long. I just thought that was really funny. And then I don't know what this is. I tried to look it up online, and it says DVD mobile video system. It's, as far as I can tell, it's a multiple. It's got 2 DVD players in it. It looks like it has a lot of ins and outs for controls, for monitors. I'm not entirely clear on what you use this for. Now we're on to savers. And oh boy, you don't really see the tube TVs much. I almost never see tube TVs in my usual haunts, and this little bugger is just as cool as can be. Much less cool is this guy. It's actually pretty cool, but I'll say this, the price tag was not so cool. Otherwise, I would have maybe been tempted to pick it up. I did actually buy the Tube TV VCR combo. It is a very cute little guy. Look at this.
Where did this come from? I do not. The crazy things that pop up at This Savers. This Savers is the best for old tech. And I'm going to tell you, these clips amount to me going to This Savers probably 10 times over the course of the month. But still, it's like every time I go, there's some little interesting bit of tech. Now I always like looking through the knickknacks. And what's wrong with this guy? All right, well, I think I just had my soul stolen. Look at this, Jurassic Park. This is vintage. This is 93. This is vintage room wallpaper border. I was tempted to get this and put it up in my room, but, the wife, shocking. Nah, she would have loved it. I didn't even ask her. And look at this, mixed into the board games, we have the Darkwing Duck Rat Catcher vehicle. I was so excited to find this. I loved Darkwing Duck as a kid. I had some of these toys. I still have a couple of them. So cool. And another Tiger handheld. This one's kind of a wild one. It's a double header, or head-to-head, two-player Tiger handheld. And it says it's a talking football Tiger handheld. So this one's got all the gimmicks going. Unfortunately, it is a little on the cruddy side. And usually This Savers is pretty good for some interesting things in the books. Right here we've got a bundle of Choose Your Own Adventure books, all ninja themed or martial arts themed. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I collect interactive fiction, which obviously Choose Your Own Adventure is kind of the go-to, the big name in interactive fiction, but I collect a lot of these books. So this was really, I have some of them, but it was cool to find them bundled in that pack. And of course, I love Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, probably one of the most important books of my childhood and my whole life. Glad to see it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to put it there. Hopefully a kid discovers it. And holy cow. Does he say holy cow in the movie? I don't remember. But Home Alone, the novel, I think the movie was probably better. And then I found this. Yeah. Do It With Denim. Is her name Denim? That's not an appropriate joke. She's like 12 years old. But look at this. We got ourselves a Polaroid camera, and the thing that I thought was funny about this was business edition. That is a business class Polaroid camera. I don't know what that means. Cute little retro alarm clock. Alarm clock cassette player. Thought that was cool. It's got, I love this look. I can't help it. That kind of 80s, what they thought, like the 80s version of Sleek, which is just embarrassing. Here's a cool old VCR. I love, right there, I love that window, that top window on VCRs. I just think that's incredibly cool. It actually, serves a purpose. I don't know why they got rid of that as a function. Neat little, just sort of pocket AM/FM radio. Kind of cool. And oh my God, what's better than an old top loader VCR such as this? How about two identical top loader VCRs in pristine condition? Where does this stuff come from? Now here's something that's the exact opposite of pristine condition. What do you think this is? I didn't know when I sat down, obviously it's something cool I want to investigate. Look at this. Boop. It's a reel-to-reel recorder. How cool is that? I wish it was in at all better shape because I may have bought it. But that's rough.
Ba-la-la-la-la. All right, there you go. That was the vlog portion of today's thrifting video. Oh God, I have the window open because it's incredibly hot out and muggy, and the June bugs are starting to smack against the screen, and it's the most disgusting noise in the world. Obviously, we got a lot of VHS tapes to get to, but we have to read because I'm so bad with words and rambling. There's a little thing that I wanted to start saying, and I wanted to say it right and concisely. So here we go. Tonight's Thrifting live stream, as well as all the live streams and videos here on here on Hat Hole Home Video, are fueled by the best patrons a fella could ask for. Old Man Gamer, 8-Bit Beck, and Derek Grant. If you like what you see, please consider going to patreon.com/hatholehomevideo and becoming a patron yourself. Help build a friendly, welcoming place where mostly we just talk about old horror movies, video games, and how much we miss video stores. I tried to get through that. Thank you, patrons. 2 of you are right here in the chat. Old Man Gamer, he's a wheeler and a dealer, but he's a big supporter of the channel. Okay, so first off, I gotta say, I showed these in a previous live stream, so I'm going to get those out of the way real quick. Sorry, I was reading the chat, catching up on the chat. Which, by the way, look at, I put it here, so you guys can see it in the videos now, too. I'm thinking of you. But I swung by a local garage sale, which actually turned out to be a former coworker of mine from, like, more than a decade ago, which I thought was cool. Roddy says, I'll get a P.O. Box goal on Patreon. I'm not joking. That is going to be one of the goals. I just haven't had time to set it up. But boom, at this garage sale, I picked up Battlestar Galactica, which I will admit, you might not like hearing this, but I'm not a huge Battlestar Galactica fan, but how am I supposed to pass up that retro goodness? And this was the one I was more excited about. Legend of the Crystals. A Final Fantasy based on Final Fantasy Volume 1. As I said, I can't remember which live stream I showed these off in, but I did show these off. So, just get those out of the way. Oh boy. Here's something I want to talk about. A couple old games. I picked this up at Half Price Books. We've got Draken for the Super Nintendo, which I remember being a pretty bad game, but it's a bad game that I have a ton of nostalgia for, and I love the art style in the world. I just remember the gameplay being pretty atrocious, but I'm excited to get into it again. Now, I picked up a copy of RoboCop on the NES, but it's not so much RoboCop that I'm excited about. Hold on, I gotta crank the volume down a little bit. I was kind of in the red there. It wasn't so much the fact that it's RoboCop on the NES. It's what this came in that excited me more, and that is, it came in a Funko Land sleeve. And man, if there is one place that I have as much nostalgia for as the video store, it would be Funko Land. Long before they became a terrible, terrible company called GameStop, they were Funko Land, and Funko Land was awesome. So that was super cool to find. And at that same, where did I say I got that? That was Half Price Books. I got both of those were from Half Price Books. And from that same Half Price Books, I got some laser discs. We've got Cat People, which I was excited to see, and Demon Seed. They look pretty cool to me. I don't know what I don't know what's going on with Demon Seed. It doesn't look as demony as I would expect a movie called Demon Seed, but we'll do it. These I should point out real quick. Actually, let's do no. We'll hold on to those. We'll hold on to those. Here is now. This is a garage sale find. A pretty thick garage sale find. It's actually my wife's. It was a complicated chain. It was my wife's boss's in-laws garage sale. And I think we ended up getting these for $1 a piece, and they are old school wrestling VHS tapes. That's right. So I'm a wrestling fan. Deal with it. I know. I don't like Battlestar Galactica, but I like wrestling. My nerd cred is in serious jeopardy tonight. But we'll go through them here. We got because Stone Cold said so, which I'm pretty excited for. One that I may be a little less excited for. WCW Goldberg, who's next? Goldberg was not exactly the most skilled of wrestlers. Now these ones look pretty legitly awesome. You've got Shawn Michaels, best hits, and you'll notice at the bottom here it says Acclaim bonus top secret codes and strategies, or top secret codes and strategy tips for video games from Acclaim. So I guess at the end of this tape, there's some kind of video game content. Yeah, Goldberg did make for a pretty great Santa. What was that movie called again? It was like I can't think of the name. And then we got confirmed hits. Looks like you got Bret the Hitman Hart dealing out a little justice. Santa's sleigh, that's right. And speaking of Bret, we got a little bit more. Most amazing matches. So and this one has, I think all of these three all have Acclaim secret codes and tips for the wrestling video games. So that's pretty cool. And then I found these at Goodwill. The most shocking movie of Thomas Tryon's shocking bestseller. The shocking movie of Thomas Tryon's shocking bestseller. That is a nightmare to say, but it looks cool. It's called The Other. I'm in. And along with that, I found Crapston Villas, Volume 1, from Troma Entertainment. It says, sicker than South Park, raunchier than Beavis and Butthead, it's The Simpsons on X-Lax. Vile, vulgar, and hilariously funny. A vicious projectile vomiting cat, overdosing kleptomaniac grandmother, raunchy puppet sex. Yeah. This looks like it kind of came from those extra insane days of Troma. 5 episodes. Pretty interested. I'm not going to lie. Here, we'll show these off. This is another little stack that my wife found while she was out thrifting without me. Yeah, sounds like there's a lot going on there. Yeah, it looks insane. It looks legit insane. Is it on YouTube? Oh my God. All right. No, as soon as this live stream's over, everybody go YouTube search Crapston Villas. But not until after this live stream. But yeah, my wife found Ninja Turtles, Hell yeah. Hot Rodding Teenagers. There's no hot rods, but we'll go with it. We got a Stallone movie, Daylight. Contains 10 minutes of exclusive behind-the-scenes footage. Jealous yet? And Mysteries and Myths of the 20th Century. 20th Century Ghosts and Mysterious Madonnas. Volume 8. I didn't even notice that. There better be some good stuff. This is a pretty heavily damaged. I mean, the tape looks okay, right? Tape looks okay, but my God, this case is, it's like somebody wiped their ass with it. Gonna check it out. You really don't mind Trauma. I really love the first Toxic Avenger, and I highly recommend it. I'm a Trauma fan. There's the eras of Trauma have kind of it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but my favorite era was that Terror Firmer, Toxic Avenger 4, that era, like kind of year 2000-ish, in those couple years. That's when they were just doing stuff that was just so insane. I just kind of loved it. Is Mysteries and Myths some kind of show on PBS? It sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it. It's not from any sort of reputable distributor, though, so I don't think that's exactly what it is. Okay. We're going to look at the big stack. And there is this stack. There's a story to tell before we start looking through the... you can't see that one. That's like the best one. So I think I talked about it in a previous live stream. I went to the Goodwill outlet by my house. It's not super close to my house because I would have been there by now if it was. But I actually bought I won an auction from Goodwill. Has an auction website, like kind of like their own little eBay. And I won an item, and it was actually being sold through my Goodwill outlet. And what you can do is you can, if you go pick it up, you don't have to pay shipping and handling. Super cool. So I did that, and I thought, oh, cool, I'll get to see this outlet. And let me tell you something. The Goodwill outlets are, I don't know what other ones are like. This one is a madhouse. It is like what it must be like inside an insane person's brain. It is just like a gymnasium-sized room filled with people like shoveling through bins, and it doesn't matter if it's clothes or home decor or electronics, coffee makers. It doesn't matter what it is. They're shoveling stuff over their shoulders, and everything is just smashing and going everywhere. And it is insane. And I have worked retail for 15 Black Fridays. 16. I've never seen anything like this. It was so horrific that, for one thing, there was just no way I was going to film. Like, I just was so, like, my social anxiety and claustrophobia and just, like, disgust was just so over the top. I just couldn't deal with the place. But I made, like, a quick round. I looked through bins. I didn't really touch anything. And then I hit the bins with all the books. And you're kind of looking through it, and people are just shoveling books into shopping carts, and it's just madness. And they're pushing you out of the way, but they're all friends, and it's like they all hate each other, and they're all trying to get better deals. It's all resellers. It's all flippers, and really weird atmosphere. I give them credit. The Bearded Mermaid, the owner, is a guy who I've talked about it. He's my cousin. Nick, he's like the best guy in the world. But literally, I mean, to talk about a guy that gives you a shirt off his back, he literally gave me this shirt. But in any case, he does a lot of thrifting too, and he does it in a way where it is really his job. And I give him so much credit after I was 10 minutes in a place like that. I couldn't deal with it, and that dude's in those places all day, every day. So, mad respect. Was RoboCop on NES a port of the arcade game? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't think so. But it's definitely a movie that's up for playing on a Sunday morning here on the channel sometime soon. So we'll probably get to see what it's like. But in any case, I'm just kind of cruising and perusing these last couple bins before I get the hell out of the Goodwill outlet. And it's a lot of books, and there's some records mixed in, and I'm seeing a couple things that I'm kind of interested in. And then I start seeing VHS tapes mixed in with all the books. And here's the best part. This place is going nuts. It doesn't matter what crap it is. People are like devouring it like animals. But the VHS tapes, nobody cares. So I found a couple really good things. And then a bunch of like decent stuff. So that is the preface to this stack. And I got one tape here that you will not believe that I found at a Goodwill outlet, just in a bin. So this had to have been at a Goodwill, hung around at a Goodwill long enough for that Goodwill to say, like, whatever, this ain't selling, let's ship it off to the Goodwill. And then it made it to this Goodwill, got dumped into a bin, and then sat around in a bin with all of these animal resellers devouring everything, and it made it past all those people, and it came here. So that's a big deal. I might as well just show that one off right away, because why not? It is Satan's Cheerleaders in a big, oversized, puffy clamshell. Look at this. This is a tape. I mean, it's not like incredibly expensive or anything like that. But how the hell did this make it through all of those steps? And was just, how did nobody think I could probably make a couple bucks on this? Like, that's just crazy to me. So I'm very excited because it may not be worth a lot of money, and I'm not somebody who is interested in like the value of their collection, but I point this out only because I see other tape heads, especially on Instagram. This is a movie that I see people bust out like as one of the crown jewels of their collection. So I'm very excited to have it here, and I'm excited to watch it one of these days. So another puffy clamshell, which I just thought was kind of a cool design. Wizard of Oz, which I think Wizard of Oz to me, and this is something worth bringing up because I'm not all about, just crazy exploitation slasher movies. I think Wizard of Oz is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I think that's evident from the fact that it's nearly 100. It's 80 years old, right? It's more than 80 years old. And it's still just as watchable today as it was back then. But this was just a cool, puffy clamshell that I've never seen before, and figured I'd grab it. Got a few different versions of it. Now, this is a little bit of an inside joke. I bought this for my wife. This is Willow, the children's novel. But we have a joke where we always buy, whenever we see VHS tapes or laser discs or anything funny of Willow, we always buy it for some reason. It's a good movie, but I don't know how it became the inside joke that it is. And once again, these are a couple things that maybe not super exciting, but found them in the bin, and the these bins, by the way, I should point out, all of this is sold by weight. So I just filled up a basket, and I think it equaled out to less than $1 a tape, which is super cool. And obviously VHS tapes, you don't necessarily want to go pay by weight because VHS tapes are actually kind of heavy. But these probably only cost me about 50 cents a piece based on that. But it is, for the GameCube, the Namco Museum, which I was just excited to see a GameCube game in the bin at the Goodwill outlet because I don't ever see GameCube games even just at the regular Goodwill. And it's here. It's got its manual. The game is inside. Super cool. Super cool to find. And Goodwill bins are crazy. You found board games from the 40s and 50s. Jeez. And that's so sad that they just end up in a bin. That was like, for all the cool stuff I found, it was so heartbreaking to see so much stuff just destroyed in these bins. Because, like, the way they were treated was just so horrible. And I found a couple, I don't know, these must be like bootlegs or something. They're just a very weird looking DVD cases. But we've got Godzilla 1984 or Godzilla 1985, The Return of Godzilla, which I had actually just been thinking I wanted to watch. So, and I have a lot of Godzilla movies on VHS, but this is one that I don't. Is Willow your favorite Disney movie? Is Willow a Disney movie? It's Lucasfilm. I mean, either way, there's oh God. Oh, you disgusting June bugs. I'm going to have to deal with them because that noise is actually going to give me nightmares. Oh my God, that's disgusting. The noises, there's certain things. And the sound of a June bug like buzzing against the window and smacking into it, I can't deal with it. Okay. Is that a Region 2? Good question. It may very well be because it is all written in Japanese on the back. So yeah, I don't know. I get the feel it may be, but I think even on top of that, I think it's a bootleg because these feel very, I mean, I guess it's not the worst printing. In any case. No, I don't think I own any. I do have an international or a multi-region VCR, but I don't have a multi-region DVD player. So I guess that's one way to find out. I could try playing it, and if it doesn't play, I know I ain't going to be watching it. And then we had Godzilla versus Megalon. Another one. I was hoping more of these would show up as I searched through the bin, but those were the only two that I found, unfortunately. And then we've got a mess more VHS tapes. We've got Catch Me If You Can, not the Tom Hanks movie. It says, what happens when the perfect girl breaks the rules? I'm listening. Melissa needs $200,000 for a good cause, and playing by the rules is getting her nowhere fast. With time running out, she needs help, any kind she can get. Enter handsome dragster Dylan Malone. Dylan Malone. That's the ultimate cool guy name. Whose fast car and fancy moves are earning him stacks of bucks and a radical reputation. He's got a risky business proposal that makes Melissa think twice about how to play the game. When Dylan convinces her that raising cash through an illegal race is the only way to go, this mismatched team takes on the law and the local gambling boss, risking everything to win. Suspense races down to the finish line as Dylan and Melissa make their own rules, stand back for the breathtaking climax, and try to catch me if you can. I am stoked for this movie. And what's this? Is this a... What is this? Build customer awareness and increase rental turns on Catch Me If You Can and Communion by displaying an attractive two-sided shelf talker. Oh, look at that. This is from a video store. Is this a screener copy? I don't think so. It's a legit copy, but it's got this little... So I guess you must put this on... I'm not going to bend it because I don't want to bend it, but it's like you would crease it, and then this would be, I guess, hanging off the shelf so people would see that or see Communion. That's neat. Little piece of video store history. I didn't even know that was in there. That is awesome. You didn't know there was a Region 2 VHS player? I thought you would play foreign No, there are different VCRs were mostly because of TV signal. There are NTSC VHS tapes and there are PAL VHS tapes. And there's something else. I can't remember. But yeah, there are differences in VHS tapes across the world, and not everything plays in every kind of VCR. Now this, we've got ourselves a little movie by the name of Anatomy. The Subject Is You, which I definitely remember seeing this in the video store, but I don't think I ever rented it. Looks kind of cool. We've got some sort of goriness going on. Sorry, not you. Right here. Looks kind of interesting. Probably your typical kind of video store horror movie. Is that Michael Ironside? No, it can't be. Doesn't list him on the back. There's no way. The guy just from the side kind of looks like him. He got nervous thinking I was going to bend it? Hell no. I mean, if I ever get to the point where I actually get to build a VHS video store, I might consider putting that shelf talker. I might consider bending it and letting it fulfill its purpose that it's been waiting all these years to do. So does that mean 1989, 1990? Does that mean that's just been chilling in this tape for all these years? And like they didn't even... Like, did a rental place buy this and then just never put it out? It's kind of a bummer. Anatomy's a German movie? Interesting. I did see that it says... Oh yeah, you're right. From Run Lola Run. Interesting. I'm excited. It says Grisly Autopsies. Now we've got what is probably a terrible, terrible movie. But it is a Blockbuster rental. Actually, the tape's a little bit busted. But it is Ed Gein. Now, for my... Look at it. It's right over my face. Hi, guys. May I wear your skin as a mask? No? That's fine. If you've ever seen, I haven't seen this. I assume this is pretty terrible. There were a lot of serial killer movies, kind of straight to video at this time, and the ones I've seen have been pretty bad. But there is an Ed Gein movie called Deranged, and it is unsettling. It's a movie that looks like it was made for about $5, and that kind of adds to how gross you feel while you're watching it. It is nasty, but I highly recommend Deranged. When I watched it, it was on Netflix, so I recommend it. Let's do this. Thug Nerd. What was Thug Nerd saying? I didn't even see it. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't know what Thug Nerd was on about. Now here's a classic Full Moon Pictures release. What do you think it's going to be? All you Full Moon fans, take your guess. Whoop, there's a little peek. It's popping up. I don't know if you guys are going to be excited about it or not, but it is Talisman. Now, I loved Full Moon movies. I was probably had a little too... God, I wish it was Dr. Mordred. Is Jeffrey Combs in this? I feel like he should be. He's not. Oh, well. I was a Full Moon devotee for quite a while. You think they were trolling? I didn't even see what they said. I should probably make a couple of you moderators at some point. Obviously, like, our tent is getting bigger. We're pulling more people in. They were probably hoping he'd read it out loud. I missed it. Dang it. What was it? Was it hilarious? Did it go away? Did it erase or something? I don't even see it. Doesn't matter. I'll have to watch the live stream back and check it out. It's the price you pay, folks, when people start actually paying attention to what you're doing, I guess. In any case, let's get back on track. Came up on the vid chat. That's interesting. In any case, I've completely derailed. Let's get me back on track. Talisman. I was, especially because of the Puppet Master movies, especially Puppet Master 2. I was a big Full Moon fan, and anytime, it's funny looking back. Their movies were not necessarily the best, but they are just they're another one of those companies that makes a kind of movie that is distinctly theirs, and for better or worse, I really enjoy them. Sometimes I enjoy them because they're not that good, and I kind of like how sort of cheaply trashy they are. Is Talisman a subspecies movie? No. Even though basically all the Full Moon movies from that time are more or less the same. Here, it's got a short description, so I'll read it for you. As the millennium draws near, an evil begins... What? As the millennium draws near, an evil being awakens, fused to an ancient talisman for centuries. Theriel, the Black Angel, is summoned from his resting place to usher in the end of the world. The ghastly messenger must claim 7 human sacrifices to complete the ritual and open the gates of hell. A teenage boy and girl have been chosen to assist the angel in its deadly mission, yet they alone are the world's only hope for salvation. I mean, it's going to be kind of lame, but it does sound, like Derek says, it sounds amazing. Isn't Corey Feldman in one of the Puppet Master movies? Yes, he is. I want to say it's not Retro Puppet Master. It's probably Puppet Master 5? Or was it Demonic? Was he in Demonic Toys versus Puppet Master? I don't remember. He was in that era of Puppet Master, and he played an old man. He had gray in his hair, and he put his glasses down like this, and he talked like this. I'm Corey Feldman. I'm so old. The girl playing his daughter was clearly as old as him. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. That Mark from The Room was in one of the Puppet Master movies. I did not know that. Speaking of, I mean, not speaking of anything, another Goodwill bin find, which maybe it should have stayed in the bin. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. This movie's the worst. Oh, Mark from The Room. I was thinking you meant like I didn't know. I thought you meant like a mark, like a symbol. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to let on that I just had no idea what was being said because I don't want to look dumb all the time. Every time I try not to look dumb, it wraps around a minute later, and I look even more dumb than if I had just said I'm dumb. In any case, yes, so bad, but welcome home. And we got ourselves Stephen King's The Dead Zone, starring a young, fresh-faced Christopher Walken. I know I watched this back in the day, but I have so little memory of it. Listen to the soundtrack instead of watching the movie I actually watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation not all that long ago. I probably watched it in the last 2 years, and it is the worst. It is legit one of the worst movies, and I saw it in the theater, and I defended it for a long time. It's terrible, but it is a perfect get some friends together that like bad movies and laugh at it. It is that kind of a movie. Watching it alone, it was tough because you couldn't really get into how terrible it. You couldn't have fun with how bad it was just sitting there watching it by yourself. Yeah, it was. Most of the cast was who came back? I mean, Liu Kang came back. I don't even remember. Did anybody else come back? Did John? I don't remember. But yeah, pretty great. I can't think of the actress's name who played Sindel, but I kind of love the movie for her because I kind of have a crush on her. And she's just terrible. She was in Return of the Living Dead Part 3, if I remember right. Now this, I don't know. You guys could tell me what this is maybe better than, because I don't know at all. So I find this blank case. The side says Sweet Dreams. And it apparently was part of the Don Spangler Library. It's from HBO. I think that would help figure out what this was, but it's something called Sweet Dreams. I don't know what it is. Oh, that's right. Katana came back from the first movie as well. That's right. That classic delivery of the line, "You will die." Pika, have you been? You haven't said anything in the chat yet, have you? Welcome, Pika. Patsy Cline movie. Oh, Sweet Dreams? Thank you. Now I know. Gold star. All right, and a couple classics to round out the stack. We've got Beverly Hills Cop 2, which you're probably shocked to discover was not already in the collection. And something that is already in the collection, but how am I supposed to pass this up, especially when I see it in the Goodwill bin? Like, I gotta save this. Rambo First Blood 2. I think I own about 5 or 6 copies of this movie just because I've found different VHS covers. I have found laser discs. I have the Blu-ray. I probably have the DVD. I own all of the Rambo movies over and over and over again. And they're not even like I want to say they're not awesome. Because one is a really great movie, but in a very different way. 2 and 3, they're good movies. I don't think like they're amazing movies though. Rambo 4, and Chad, we just talked about it, but Rambo 4 is one of the greatest action movies. I think it gets on the list of all-time greatest action movies. That's just me. I think they're good. I think Rambo 2 and 3 are good. And Rambo 2 is definitely better than 3. Am I looking forward to the new Rambo? I'm cautious, but yes, I'm very excited for Last Blood. My only... And this is the thing. The trailer doesn't look that good. But the trailer for Rambo 4 didn't look that good, and it was great. And the reason the trailer didn't look that good was because it was a movie that you couldn't show what made the movie great in the trailer. And I'm hoping that that's the case with Last Blood. I'm hoping that Last Blood is just so badass and violent and gory and just so over the top that they just can't even make a G-rated trailer to show. As soon as a red band trailer comes out for that movie, that I think is when we will know what's up. Rambo in Arizona, I'm looking forward to it. Hope he uses a cactus as a weapon. I hope he'll hide in a cactus. And there'll be like cartel members like looking for him, and then they'll pass by a cactus, and it'll just look like a cactus, a saguaro, and eyes will open up, and you'll realize that it's Rambo camouflaging himself as a cactus, and then he rips the guy's head off with his bare cactus hands. It's gonna be good, and that is that stack. So I gotta say that's actually it for all the pickups. Oh, that's it for the pickups. But I did want to show off a couple more things. First of all, real quick, I wanted to talk about next Wednesday. You're fading fast. You're gonna go cuddle up with your fiance. By the way, congratulations. I did see that, and I couldn't be happy. I couldn't be happier for you. So congrats. Have a good night. But I want to talk just real quick about what movies we will be reviewing next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is our VHS review night, and it's going to be It Came from Outer Space VHS review night. So we've got 4 movies up for review, and obviously, and I should have pointed this out, Life Force is another movie that was at the Goodwill outlet. Can you believe this? Life Force. Sitting in a bin. Nobody picking it up. So Life Force we're reviewing. And to pair with that, another Tobe Hooper movie. Oh my God, is that Rambo in the chat? Rewind. I'm keeping an eye on that cactus. Another Tobe Hooper, It Came From Outer Space movie, Invaders from Mars, a remake of a classic. And then speaking of classics, a bona fide classic in its own right, Day of the Triffids, we'll be talking about. And a movie that I haven't watched it yet. I got a week to watch it. Crack the Factory. It's got a factory seal. I am busting a factory seal for next Wednesday, and it is a movie called The Colony. I suspect it will be subpar, but who knows? We might be pleasantly surprised. Will you live stream Phenomena for your public domain night? I will. I do promise I will look into whether or not that movie is actually public domain. Because if it is, we definitely will. What does the Day of the Triffids label look like? Uh-oh. Oh, it's another one of these. It's a blank Good Times Movie Classics logo. We had the same thing with the mummy versus the robot. What was it? The Aztec mummy versus the robot, where they just have a blank label on it. Is that how did you know that? How did you know that was going to be the case? Or is that what you were getting at? You've seen that one and it is subpar? Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. At this point, it probably doesn't deserve that factory seal, so we'll bust it wide open. You passed on it thinking it wasn't the actual movie. Oh, that sucks. I will say, though, that, I mean, it does say Good Times Video on the back. You got to go. Looking forward to next week. Hell yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Chad. I'll talk to you later. Wasn't Aztec Mummy versus the Robot part of a trilogy? Is that true? I didn't know that. Those Good Times labels love to fall off? Really? This one's on there like it's brand new. 1985. So yeah, that's going to be next Wednesday. Super excited. Should be fun. And then there was just a couple things I wanted to show from the vlog in slightly greater detail. Nothing super, super exciting, but you remember this from like an hour ago. The rat catcher. I just wanted to show it to you assembled. It is missing this. It was so close to being complete, but it was missing the sidecar windshield, unfortunately. But otherwise, beautiful. So excited. I was really hoping there was going to be a figure that got left in here. There wasn't, unfortunately. I do still have a couple figures from this toy line from when I was a kid. So I guess if nothing else, we could have Megavolt riding in the rat catcher. Have you seen the DuckTales reboot? You know, I watched the first episode or two when it came out, and it was fine. But it was one of those things where I said, well, this, you know, I have my DuckTales, and I'm glad that there is a new DuckTales for a new generation to get into, but this isn't my DuckTales anymore, and that's okay. I have my DuckTales. It just wasn't, I don't know, I just wasn't clicking with it, and I really like the cast, a lot of the cast, not necessarily everybody, but I like most of the cast. I just didn't quite click into it. And I wanted to just real quick, remember this? Artura. Which, by the way, if you do look at this you can look up gameplay of this on YouTube. It seems like a pretty fun game, and it is literally on every like PC type system known to man. When you start looking up videos, this company put this game on every kind of computer you could think of. But I wanted to show off real quick the contents because, for one, sorry, I probably blew out everybody's eardrums. For one, I just love 5 1/4 floppies. They will never, ever cease to fill me with joy. I want to put this in a frame. Like I want to start framing 5 1/4 inch floppy disks. It's got the get my next issue of PC Games for free. And this is what I really wanted to show off. I'm going to have to probably back up for this. You going to play it one Sunday? Maybe. I do actually have some ideas for getting in some more, you can still, please do. The more 5 1/4 inch floppies that we have in frames means the less end up in a landfill. But I wanted to show you this madness. This is, trying to get it kind of where the glare isn't too terrible because it's super glossy. But this is a map of, I think, the entire game. Because if you watch gameplay footage of this game, navigating the world is insane. You're like moving backwards and forwards in the fields of view, and it's all like, it is so easy to just get completely lost. So I'm pretty sure that is the whole game. Like it's a poster of the whole game. And I just thought that was incredibly cool. That's the kind of stuff that I love to find. And the instruction manual, nothing super exciting in there. Really, mostly it's just loading instructions and controls. And once again, Amiga, Atari ST loading instructions, Amiga loading instructions, Commodore 64 loading instructions. Insane. And then just a nice little quick cheat sheet for controls and loading. I don't have any specific nostalgia, any direct nostalgia for this game, but it is just so up my alley. And is something that I know I would have been incredibly into if I had discovered it back in the day. So I think, honestly, that's kind of it. The thrifting streams tend to be a little tighter, because obviously we kind of only go till we run out of stuff to show. Good, yeah, definitely some good scores. It's funny because like all this month I kept thinking, oh man, like didn't really find anything. Like this month's thrifting live stream is going to be kind of bare bones, and then over the last couple days I edited the video together, and it's like, oh, there's some stuff there. And then I started gathering up the stuff that that I wanted to show you, and it's like, oh my god, like I found a lot of cool stuff this month. So we'll see. We're definitely fully into spring, so hopefully we've got a lot more spring cleaners bringing stuff to the thrift shops. But yeah, next Wednesday, VHS reviews. Funny that we both picked up. That's right, you picked up that copy of Congo as well. The more stuff you get, the harder it becomes. Yeah, amen to that. But yeah, we're gonna suppose for a second here, I can talk about. There's no real good place to just brainstorm about this, but I did tweet this the other day, and I'm trying to find more ways to live stream. And the trouble is obviously like I can't just do movie reviews all the time on live stream because like it takes me a while to watch the movies and to think about them and then get a review ready. So I've been trying to come up with ways of being here for us to be here more often. And I had a couple ideas. One was, and sort of triggered by some of these PC games that I've been finding, I kind of want to do another kind of video game live stream, but one that is more focused on long-term coming back to it, episode after episode kind of play. So Sunday mornings would still be kind of fun, one-off, playing a Nintendo game or a Super Nintendo game, and kind of that day, that's sort of it. But then maybe another night of the week, we do some old PC games, things that are more story-driven, things that will take multiple live streams to actually complete, and playing them to completion or to some sort of where we feel satisfied with it. A game that I loved back in the day was Superhero League of Hoboken, and I really want to play it. It's it's an old PC game, and I just bought it on goodoldgames.com, and I need to see if it works because I've had other DOSBox versions of it, and they all kind of crash at around the same spot. So I need to figure out if it works or not. But I would love to start playing some of those games and come back to them, week after week, and, get farther and actually kind of like play some of the meatier games, have a day that's like meaty, old gaming, and then Sunday mornings is sort of the light, fluffy, come and go as you please kind of gaming. The other idea was a choose your own adventure live stream where we hang out much like this, but I read a choose your own adventure novel and you decide, you make all the decisions. I'm just the narrator. I'm here I'm here reading you the story, and all of you have to fight out what decisions get made. And I think that could be a lot of fun. So, sounds cool. Long plays. Gotta go to bed. Thank you, Billy, for hanging out. Long plays. PC story-driven games would be cool. Story-driven and or strategic games, as they'd be interactive for the whole group. Yeah, I really think there's a lot of those. And like Maniac Mansion is a game that we played on a Sunday morning, but we didn't beat. And I feel like that's kind of the perfect game where it's like that should be not a game where we're rushing. Like we've got a 2-hour live stream and like we're just trying to book it through and try to get somewhere. Whereas we could just take our time, and it's like we know that wherever we get to, well, we're going to come back to it next week and maybe the week after. And, we're just going to get it to a place where we've kind of had our fill and we move on to something else. What's the PC game where you're the janitor on a spaceship? That's an old one. Was that Space Quest? I think. That sounds fun for the same reason. Yeah, I think I'm most excited about the idea of a choose your own adventure. And I have, like I said, I collect interactive fiction. We have in this house, oh my God, probably 100, over 100, choose your own adventure and Twist a Plot and Lone Wolf. There's all kinds of choose your own adventure type books. And I think that would be a lot of fun. And again, this is all about nostalgia. And that's another thing. It's like, yeah, I could play this or that, but like I really want to keep this place like all about, we all have this shared love for a time in our lives, a time in, pop culture. And I really want that to always be the focus as much as it can be. So those are my ideas. They're not coming like right away. I think we've got a pretty good balance right now. I mean, I might do a test or something, but I think we've got a good balance right now as far as our schedule goes. And obviously the thing that I like about doing a lot of different kinds of live streams is you all get to decide, like, maybe you're not into this, but you're into the public domain movie nights. Cool. You don't need to feel like you have to be here tonight. You show up for the live streams that you're excited about. You skip the ones you're not excited about. It's breezy, folks. It's breezy. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you, everybody. It was a fun live stream. Hell of a good time. The AC is not working in my house right now, so I'm sweating like a dog. So I think I'm going to turn these lights off and I don't know what. Probably go to the gas station and buy a bag of ice and then lay it out on the driveway and then roll around in it. Great to be here. I recommend oh, that's right. You found, is it? I'm gonna have to look that one up because yeah, that it looked good. I'm down for any of it. I know you are, Roddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna cut my rambling off and say thank you, everybody, and I will catch all you cool cats and you dirty dogs on the flip side. Bye-bye.